the beginning file. You also get to see how many practice files I have. There are a bunch. There we go. So, yeah, do we have to use the red button, by the way? Should have. Okay. Which one, number 2 or number 3, or does it matter? Okay. There we go. Okay, in 3, 2, 1. So this is technically not really when we start the timing, but it's easier for doing marathons and races, because this is where this timing really starts. So we're gonna skip about 14 minutes of cutscenes, because who wants to watch cutscenes anyways? That's the beauty of New Game Plus, we can skip all of the cutscenes. And we're just gonna go straight into the tutorial section in the game. Now, one of the things you might notice me doing is that I'm jumping in and jumping out of cutscenes. Now what that does is it restores my, it stores my speed and then it restores my speed. So Ami has like 2 modes of speed, and we want to keep maximum speed as much as possible. So that's why we jump in and out, so we don't lose any speed or have to rebuild it. It's a very useful trick. Oh. So here we have the first instance of the brush. This time it's used to draw a constellation, which gives us a new brush power. This game is completely geared around these brush powers, and you have to... Technically you have to retrieve 13 of them, but we're gonna like retrieve 7. And then finish the game. So yeah. This one was Rejuvenation, and it restores this little river, for instance. And it's pretty neat. You won't see it again in the... you will.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah.
In no, wait, you don't, do you?
Yeah, we do it in, like, right now, almost.
I was thinking in Suta Ruins, but then I remembered you don't actually...
No, we don't. Yeah. That's New Game.
Yeah.
So yeah, there are a lot of differences between New Game and New Game Plus, and that's mainly because of a certain glitch that we're going to show off a whole lot during this run.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty much the reason why you only need to get those 7 brush techniques.
Yeah.
But there are a few categories of this game, and one of them includes getting every single brush technique. That's also a pretty good category. Yeah,
I actually kind of prefer that category because it doesn't have a bad section in it. So just now we got Power Slash. It basically just slashes through things. It's casually probably one of the brush powers people use the most.
Yeah.
Together with like Cherry Bomb, and we just walked around the fight trigger. So. Triggers in this game are kind of interesting. They're either too big or too small. Those ones are too small because the game developers expect you to go through the gate, but I mean you can just walk around it. Like here. I just walked around another fight trigger. Our first skips, ladies and gentlemen. Our first skips. You better buckle up because we got a whole load to go. So, I could start explaining the story of this game, but the only real thing you need to know is that we're a dog trying to be fast and trying to defeat a boss at the end. That's all you really need to know. That's how much we sequence break the game. But for now, we need to actually make sure that we get to the game, so we have to cut down this fruit, which I failed the first time. So that the world is actually like habitable, and we can go into it and skip things. So right now, like you have this like eerie village, and it just doesn't look right. And you have these statues that are actually people, and the game expects you to like go up and draw the sun, and then you get sunrise. Luckily, we can just skip getting sunrise. we're just gonna leave the village, and I'll let Glitches explain the trick that I'm going to do now.
Okay. Well, there's normally this huge boulder in the way, but if you could go high enough, you could get over it. And what you just saw there, as Kinnin was opening the menu, he was changing his... Yeah, that's the trick you're going to be seeing a lot throughout the run. He went to his menu, he changed his Karmic Transformer, which is like a thing you get in New Game to change your appearance. And after coming out of the menu, you have a small amount of time where you can do an extra dash and a jump to get an extra height. So it's kind of like an infinite jump.
Yeah.
And it gets even more powerful later in the game when, if you get the double jump ability from the dojo, then you can do a double jump and then do the glitch and then another double jump.
It's really nice.
Pretty cool.
It is actually like frame perfect. We tested it out on TAS, so it's like 1/30th of a second. And we have to do that about 230 times throughout the run, so that's going to be fun.
And that glitch, so this game originally came out on PS2, and it's on a bunch of different consoles. It's on PC now. And the glitches remained possible in most of in all.
No,
not in the most recent ones. In all the versions until the most recent releases. So there's the Wii version, the PS3 version, the PS2 version. You can do that glitch.
So I just equipped a whole bunch of things, and I used what is called an exorcism slip to just basically instantly win the fight. So in New Game Plus, you basically carry over a certain set of items, and one of those items are your exorcism slips. And what they do, they deal a whole lot of damage to everything in the battle arena. So you're going to be seeing me use that a lot during fights, and because of that, fights become kind of a joke. But it's nice. It lets you focus on movement optimization and trick optimization, and you don't have to worry about fight optimization that much.
It is nice for the speedrun. It means you're constantly moving. There's no bits where you're sort of just standing around fighting enemies for too long, except for a couple of the bosses, but they're interesting anyway.
Yeah. The bosses have cool strats, usually. Okay. So, I mentioned that we skipped getting sunrise. Now, technically, I have to use sunrise here. Wow, game. Thank you. But the game is nice, and you don't actually have to have sunrise to use it at certain story elements. So that, for instance, there, it was storied that I have to use sunrise there, but it just reacts to me drawing a circle. I have no idea why, but it just does that.
I guess because normally you're supposed to use sunrise on a sky, so it would be extra.
Yeah, but we use it on the sky twice as well, so.
Yeah, I suppose. I didn't think about that.
It's really weird. We can just skip sunrise because the game developers allow us to skip sunrise.
I mean, to be fair, canonically you're supposed to already have it. That's kind of like in the story.
That's true. Anyway, it's time for one of my favorite parts in the run. This is Susano, and everyone say after me. Here we go. Here goes nothing. Su! Sa! No! Susano! Now for exploding implosion! Because that's totally how they work.
Just enough power to wake up the bear for a second.
Yeah. Oh.
Very powerful move.
So this is the ball.
The fabled ball.
Yeah. It has very precise collision detection. So, damn it. And you have to try pushing it around, and it's really obnoxious. And I had a pretty annoying ball there, but that worked. I can make it look real smooth, but that was horrible. So yeah, this is another instance where I have to draw sunrise, but I can just do this, and it works. And by doing that, we grow a little sapling, and we get a new brush power.
So the story throughout the game is that all the areas are cursed. Like the main, who we think is the main bad guy at this point has put a curse on all the areas, and you've got to grow these trees to restore them.
Yep. And if we don't do that, we can't continue in the game, so we're kind of forced to. So here I'm gonna jump over another fight trigger. There we go. We just skipped the fight. So yeah. A lot of little things like that are quite useful. Also, we have a very important button. This is the Bork button.
Bork.
It's the most important button in the game. Also, this is another fight. And we skipped it.
Didn't feel like doing that one today.
No. Maybe another day. And on to the tree in Shinshu here. There we go. So yeah, usually also have this giant cutscene with a giant amount of rumble, like showing you how beautiful the world becomes, but yeah. We can skip all that. And now I'm gonna open the map a little bit, and you see all these little red dots. That's basically what the game expects you to look at. Like there are like special things and things that happen, and yeah, we're not gonna do any of those, except one, but not right now. We're just gonna go on to the next area because we have this neat infinite jump glitch that just allows us to jump up here.
So normally to get to this next area, you would need the lily pad brush technique and you would need the cherry bomb brush technique. But right now we don't have, Kinnin doesn't have either of those, so.
Yeah, that's actually gonna be something I have to work around a bit throughout the run. Especially the cherry bomb one. Cherry bomb is actually a really big miss. But it loses too much time to actually grab it. So yeah, we're not actually supposed to enter Agata from here, so we're gonna go into a cursed zone real quick and jump right out. Luckily that's short. And we need cherry bomb to get to the next tree, but we don't have cherry bomb. So instead we're gonna do this.
Infinite jump is the best brush technique.
Definitely. And we're out of bounds, and there's the tree. Hey tree, let's bloom you. So it never really matters where you are when you use brush techniques. It's all about where your camera is. So the closer your camera is, the better your brush work gets, I guess, in some sense.
And you can kind of pan the camera around and move it a little bit, and
yeah.
So you have some freedom once you've got the paintbrush out.
So I just skipped another fight. It happens before you know it. That's actually a really big storied fight against Waka, who like somehow knows you.
Yeah, it's like a main character, and they're really mysterious at the start, and this is the first fight you see them in.
Yep.
But we don't see them.
And we just go up here to get a fast travel point ready. If you don't do that, you lose at least a minute. And yes, I know it. I actually had to walk all the way here at one point. So a thing about the infinite jump glitch is technically you can't do it over water because you can't jump there. However, if you dash like right above the water like that and switch your karmic transformer, you can just jump out of it for some reason. And that's really useful to just skip the entirety of Agata and go into Taka.
Yeah, it's weird. In different circumstances, the KT glitch works differently, like over water or liquids, and over slopes as well, it's a bit different.
Yeah.
Takes some figuring out.
So there is a, if you look on the map, there is a sapling over there. I could just technically just KT up it, but I can't actually bloom it yet. And we're not sure, but there seems to be a trigger that you have to hit all the way in the cave, like in the entrance right there. And we just have to walk over there right now. But for some reason, in the Japanese Wii version, and specifically only the Japanese Wii version, you can skip going in here and just straight up bloom the tree. No clue why. The Wii version is weird. Let's just keep it at that.
Yeah.
And here we get our first actual sight of Waka. Blinking, you'll miss it. There we go. So another item that I equipped a while back is called the String of Beads. It is a New Game Plus item you get after collecting 100 stray beads that are like strewn around the entire game. And if you get that, you basically become invincible. You can draw as much as you like, and you get 10 times attack power. So yeah, that makes fights even more just insta-gibs.
And the weapon Kinnan's using is, because it's New Game Plus, it's kind of like a later weapon anyway, so it's quite powerful by itself, even without the 10 times boost.
So yeah, there's the little tree.
But yeah, we were talking about the Wii version earlier. You can do this infinite jump glitch on the Wii, but remember that frame perfect input we were talking about? On the Wii, you have to shake the Wiimote frame perfectly. Which is, I invite you all to try at home. It's not something I would ever want to do again.
I'll just say that it took me half an hour to even get one on a PS3 controller.
Yeah.
So you can fill in the blanks when it comes to Wiimote. There we go. So now after we've just like blazed through areas for a while, we're actually gonna do a few things in an area. Isn't that amazing?
I thought this was a running simulator. And jumping.
That's a borking simulator.
Bork, bork.
Yep. So this is a demon gate. When you run under it, you trigger a fight. And we're just gonna quickly do this one.
Some of the enemies in this game have certain gimmicks, like you have to use certain brush techniques to be able to kill them. That was an example where you had to use Bloom there, which luckily we have, so.
Yeah, there is actually, later on in the game, there is a soft lock that if you trigger a certain fight, you basically cannot escape it or finish it because you don't have the right brush power. So fingers crossed for that one when we get there. So this is Sasa Sanctuary. You can't actually enter because they lost their the boss's daughter. So you have to go find it, but
or you could break in.
Yeah, or you could just break in. Oh, ow! Jump didn't go through there. Go. So right now I'm jumping over the loading zone and going out of bounds.
And the thing about this game is that the interior for houses and a few other places are usually loaded, well, you'll see soon enough. You just saw the sky change there. The interiors of all the houses are loaded right underneath the main map, so a lot of the time you can just jump straight into them. You'll see that a bit later as well.
Yeah, it's quite useful. And we're gonna talk to the little bird over here. He has a problem. His hot springs is actually not working anymore. And we're going to help him with the help of Mr. Bamboo here. We're going to dig him a new hot spring. Nice, didn't get the frame jump. So the idea in a digging game is to just like dig all the way to the bottom and get Mr. Bamboo down as quickly as I can. So we're just going to wait a little bit and bloom him to make him go fast. And now we just wait here a bit.
Is this a good time for some donations?
You can do one real quick one, yeah.
Cool. We have a $5 donation from Soviet saying, "Here's a pun. Are you kidding me?"
If I had a penny for every time I heard that joke, I would be very rich. So here we get a new brush power thanks to making that hot spring a thing. Beautiful stars, by the way. And this is water spout, and I missed. Nice. Professional speedrunner over here. Anyway, it basically lets you control water and lets you create these columns of water. We're not really going to use the column. We're going to use it once or twice, actually. But yeah, we're going to use it a little bit later on. However, now we need to escape Sasa Sanctuary because, remember, it's still technically closed. So Now we have to jump out of it. Oh my god. There we go.
I just thought it was kind of funny, like the guards just see you jump straight into, like, you've clearly broken in and they just see you jump straight down to exit.
Yeah. I mean, the guards are on the other side right now, aren't they?
Yeah.
So they can't actually see you. It's kind of weird. Oh no, they aren't.
Yeah, no, because they, well,
I don't know.
I don't know. It's been so long since I've gone in properly.
Yeah, me too, actually. Too much glitching. It's not healthy for you. Anyways, we are going to skip we're technically going to skip a 10-minute dungeon. Actually, no, a 20-minute dungeon now that I think about it. But we usually refer to this as the city checkpoint skip because we do it in city checkpoint, but technically it's the moon cave skip. Because doing this, we can skip getting a brush power and just go straight to the other side. So there's a weird property in this game with auto jumping. Whenever you hit certain ledges, you can auto jump off them. However, in water that usually doesn't work, except for corners, like this. So that's usually referred to as the corner glitch, because that's not supposed to happen. And now we just KT our way up. Ooh. Okay, let's do that again. Very far to the front. No! This is not an easy one. There we go. So yeah, as you can see, we're not supposed to be here. You got no back-facing polygons and everything, so it's kind of neat. So yeah, technically in the story, we have defeated the bad guy that we think caused all the cursed zones, but there's still a cursed zone over here. That's kind of weird. Apparently, Glitch just got muted. Oh, so yeah, I'm gonna go over here and see if I can do this again. Running up slopes is kind of annoying, but I'm doing this to try and skip a fight. Loses about 10 seconds if I hit the fight, so. And once again, I have to use Cherry Bomb there, but I can just jump over it because for some reason I can't KT. For some reason they just left the top open, so we can just jump into here. And this is a section where we needed water spout for. We skip one basin with a nice little camera trick, where we can just barely use the brush there, and then go over here. And then we make that little sapling grow into a big boy. Well, you don't get to see it because this. Boom.
This is probably my favorite area of the whole game, I think.
Yeah.
Because it's the bit after the whole bit before the city checkpoint is sort of considered the area, or at least for me when I first played the game, it felt like the ending after you defeated the guy who you thought was the boss, and then you get to this area and you feel like you realize there's a whole lot of game left.
Yeah.
A whole lot of speedrun left.
It's really awesome. Okay, let's see if I can get this clip. Oh, almost. Yeah. Still clipped into the stairs sometimes. I'm sorry, Monk. I didn't mean to bonk you. Let's get the camera right. See if I can get new game skip. Let's just do new game plus skip. Oh, come on. This like clip can be very obnoxious.
Yeah, I always find it really tricky.
I think my camera angle is not right for this anyways. I have a setup for it, but it's not working. So I'm just gonna do the silly backup. This is the silly backup. Oop, almost got it there. Too high. La, la, la. So how's your day been?
Orc.
Nice.
Pretty good.
There we go.
Oh, there we go.
I can actually show off the new game skip while I'm at it. So, okay. So technically we have to do this with a KT, but in new game you don't have KTs, so you can do this instead.
This is one of the first unloaded, like houses loaded under the map that was found.
There we go. And we just drop into the dojo. Hey, Onigiri-sensei. So if anyone's ever played Wonderful 101, I'm gonna let this cutscene play out. Oh no, it's Beautiful Joe.
Yeah.
Never mind. It's a Beautiful Joe reference. I'm very,
I was
very...
like, wait, is it in that game as well?
No. It's a Beautiful Joe reference. So if you've ever played that game, that's a reference to it. I didn't know about that for a very long amount of time.
Yeah, it was the same people made both the games, and it was kind of like an Easter egg kind of thing.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. But yeah, right here we got a Holy Eagle, also known as double jump. And it basically allows us to jump twice. Because that's what double jump does.
2 jumps, yeah.
Yeah.
But so normally for the infinite jump glitch, every jump you'd have to do another KT and then another jump. So this, in theory, cuts out half of those KT glitches. In practice, it's slightly different, but it's close enough.
It just helps.
Yeah.
It just makes my life easier, especially for the section that's coming up.
It definitely saves time, though.
Yeah. So most of the first part of the speedrun is actually just get double jump, and then we start actually getting all the brush powers we need to finish the game. Yeah, I knew that was happening. So right here I'm skipping a fight trigger by just jumping around it. It's actually quite big, so you have to give yourself some space. And now we're just gonna jump over those guards. They won't see us, don't worry about it. They have no idea what's going on. Totally intended. So it took us about 27 minutes to get here. And yeah, I reckon that's pretty fast, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, for an area of the game that took me about, I don't know, multiple days to get to casually, I'd say that's pretty good.
Yeah, but still, after all that trying to go as fast as possible, we still have Waka showing up telling us we're slow. I don't know why. It's just...
I guess Waka can infinite jump as well, though.
Yeah. He can teleport, I think.
Yeah.
He's cheating. He's a dirty cheater. So yeah, another cool thing. We unlocked a couple of fast travel stations, but we couldn't use them yet because we first have to get them explained. And then the fast travel coins that are these mermaid coins that I just bought will appear in shops. But we skipped doing that little tutorial thing. So the only time we can easily buy mermaid coins, or like first at least, is right there. So we have to, so yeah, we have to basically wait with fast traveling until we get there. But it comes at the perfect moment anyways, so. Everyone spam Orca Z. Bye Orca. We'll see you
him
again.
later. Everyone's favorite Orca.
Mm-hmm. The bestest of mammals. So yeah, these are the fast travel point stations, kind of. They're called mermaid springs. You just throw in a mermaid coin and you can fast travel. And you can actually see that I'm on a part of the map that doesn't exist because I haven't gone into it correctly. So the game is like, oh wait, how are you there? And we're going to the most fun area of the game. Yay. So yeah, you can see that something's amiss right here. So yeah, this is Kusa Village. It's not a fun village, so we like to call it Kusa. And we're not actually gonna save any of these people, even though it's clearly cursed. They can save themselves, don't worry about it. They're perfectly fine.
We're gonna go to where the curse is originating from, and we're gonna go pretty far, and then we're just not gonna help anyone and leave.
Yeah. We're just gonna take what we want and get out. So yeah, I hope you guys like the infinite jump glitch a bit. I know I do. Because we're gonna see it for a little while here. Just a little while. Don't worry.
About to see completely optimized menuing, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, actually not really completely optimized, but... So this is Gale Shrine, and you're supposed to do a really long fetch quest to get into it. But we have this infinite jump glitch. Okay. First I need to get out of this box. Mine kitty. Got it. And now we're out of bounds. And I hope you guys got yourself a cup of tea or something to drink, or maybe a piece of cake. Because we're gonna be stuck here for the next 8 minutes doing KTs.
So if you remember earlier how we could jump down, you know, fall out of bounds, jump down into a house or something, you could technically go the other way too.
And that's sort of what we're doing right now. This entire dungeon is also on one map, and you start at the bottom, and there's the rest of the dungeon all the way at the top. Mostly to make sure that they're hidden from each other, I guess.
And the rest of the dungeon is kind of like a tower, so...
Yeah.
And we need to get right to the top of the tower.
So you might be thinking like, wait, did he say 8 minutes? How is that faster? Well, apparently the fetch quest is at least 5 minutes slower to do than this. Or so I've been told. This actually gives me a nice little moment to talk about KTs a bit. So, one of the ways that you can really tell if, one of the things we do, actually, in KTs, you might notice it, is that whenever I switch my KT and let the fan close, I actually buffer a frame. This is not an input frame, this is a check frame. I basically just check to see if Ami changes into a certain position, to see if I actually got the KT. I can actually just do them without doing that. And of course, the first time I try, I fail. Like this. And technically that's faster, but it's also more riskier because if you fail, you drop down a lot more than if you buffer a frame. So yeah, if you've got anything to say or any donations or whatever, that was a nice moment to go for them.
Great. We have a $50 donation from Anonymous who says, I am Error.
Hi, Error.
And a $20 donation from Mini Muzz L who says, here's $20 for good luck for Kinnin. May he succeed in his run. Good luck.
Thank you. There we go. So right now, you might see that blue thing in the distance. That is actually the base of the dungeon we're getting to. So if you look closely, you see it's very, very unloaded, or at least very far away. So yeah, I'm going straight up for a little bit here to gain more height. And after a little bit, I'll go forward again. And some of these giant black walls are a bunch of polygons, and they'll start disappearing. and we'll be able to see more. I'm actually aiming for the center of that of the base, because it basically gives me the right vantage point to go to.
It's quite lucky that you can see anything really here, because
Yeah.
in some areas of the game, everything is just invisible if you're not in the right area.
Yeah. Someone actually tried doing this backwards, so they went down instead of up,
Yeah.
and they didn't know where they are at all because
Yeah.
there were no cues at all. But yeah, if you got anything, just keep them coming. Even just like saying stuff, I guess.
Yep, we've got a $6 anonymous donation with no comment. I can also remind you guys, we've got donation incentives coming up on the run after this, which is Dissidia Final Fantasy. There is a level 1 to 100 trick, which sounds like some really efficient leveling, but we're currently only at $25 on that. So if you want to see that happen, you need to get the donations in. That's going to be in the run after this.
So as you can see now, we got a couple of polygons disappearing now, and you can see the top of the dungeon a bit, but we can't actually see our goal yet. Believe me, it's there, but just a little bit further. There it is. So if you look to the top, you got this little outcropping. There's a little thing in the distance. That's where we're trying to go. You got these nice little red lines around it and everything. That is our goal. So we're getting somewhat closer, I guess. Got like 2 minutes left of doing this. And I would like to remind you that this trick is frame perfect. It actually has a really nice cue though. The moment like the fan closes, so when you get a single line of fan, is when you want to press the button. It's a really nice cue, and it makes life a lot easier. It still takes a long time to get good at this trick.
Yeah, this trick in general, the jumping up to the top of this tower, was known about for a little while and considered probably too hard, maybe didn't save enough time, and then it was theorized that it probably did save time, but maybe it was too hard, and eventually people, you know, started doing it in runs, and now it's pretty much the standard for high-level New Game Plus runs.
Yep. Ooh, we're almost getting the windmill. So now that I see the windmill, I'm gonna start setting up for the trick at the end, which requires me to change camera while doing these KTs, which is not fun. Okay. Should be seeing the platform soon. There it is. Okay. Let's see if we can get this. Nice, first try.
Nice, that was really good.
So what I just did was I triggered this cutscene without actually landing on the platform. So I'm currently pressing the brush real quick so we actually void out. So we're currently voiding out, and now we get to do the things. So I'm actually supposed to be on the windmill so I can see a lot of things usually, but we're so far away that nothing is loaded technically. That also means that I have to do this constellation blind, and we got it first try as well. That's awesome.
It's like how real astronomers have to do constellations.
Yeah.
Well, I guess.
Again, this is from the top of the windmill, so you don't see anything.
Yeah.
But I know I have to do this. And because voiding out basically puts you back on the last spot you were on the ground, we're all the way at the start of the dungeon. So that saves about 45 to 50 seconds. It's really nice.
And that's kind of new, actually, compared to most of the tricks in this game.
Yeah, we actually, like, it was found years ago, but no one ever asked, like, wouldn't that be faster?
Yeah.
Until, like, someone told me an anecdote about that, and apparently that person started hating me afterwards. I love you too, Darkness. So this is a neat little trick that a Japanese runner found. Okay, I got it. So I need to jump over an invisible wall, and we're voiding out again. And for some reason, this void brings you all the way to the start of the village. I really don't know why, but it just does that. And it's a nice little 5 to 10 second time save. It's worth it to me. I really don't suggest doing that unless you're very confident in your KTs, because you just have to fill a couple of KTs and it's no longer worth it. So now that we got Gale Storm, we're gonna go get our next brush power. For that, we're gonna jump into another Mermaid Spring. And I'm gonna take a sip of water.
You might notice the theme here. We're going to all these places, just getting the brush technique and then leaving again. That's kind of the name of the game in New Game Plus. The only thing you need to do is get to the end and have the right brush techniques when you get there. So that's kind of most of the start of the run is going around collecting the brush techniques you need, and then it's just straight to the end.
It's actually like possible to get all the way to the end in like half an hour, but you cannot finish the game if you do that because you do not have the required brush powers to finish the game. So basically, this entire speedrun is get the brush powers to finish the game, then just go and finish the damn game. So what we're supposed to do here is a little fishing mini game to get the key to this place, but I mean, we got this infinite jump glitch, and yeah, this happens.
So this is normally kind of like the first dungeon you're supposed to do, but we've already entered late game areas by now, so.
Yeah. So I'm doing this little KT section here, not just to go up here, but also to skip the intro cutscene of the dungeon showing you around and like, oh, look at how amazing this place is. And we're gonna have to skip that going out in a bit as well. So right here we have a little trio of demon gates, and we are gonna have to destroy them all because they're not aesthetically pleasing. I find them very ugly. Even I can design better gates. And most of these fights just like boil down to use slip and get to the next gate. And just run into the wall for a little bit. There we go. It's actually quite easy to miss those gates. I'm happy I didn't. Nope. So coming up next is a special cutscene. We don't like this cutscene. I'm gonna see if I can skip it. Oh, I didn't get it. So, you might have seen like a little blip of a start button like appearing in the top right of the screen. For some reason, you can skip this cutscene, but you only have 1 frame to do it. And as far as we know, we haven't found any visual cue for it, so we just mash and pray. And if you get it, you save 18 seconds, and it's really stupid. We all hate it with a passion. It's the worst part of this run, he says after doing 100 KTs.
Yeah.
I think it's the worst part because it's so arbitrary. I think both of the current world records don't have cutscene skip in them. Okay, so here we're going to use another power of bloom. This is called green sprouting. You basically just have to fill out a certain amount of this mound, but you can also just draw circles, and that works too. It's mostly the amount of ink used that matters here. So you can just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. And then we get our next brush power. It's a monkey. This is Vine, and Vine just does that. It's a little useful. You'll only be seeing it used to beat a boss, but we kind of do need it to beat the boss. There's actually some cool glitches you can do in New Game with that.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool brush technique in general. I remember playing with that for a long time, just like exploring areas, and you can keep making vines connect to you and get higher and higher and stuff like that.
So I just skipped the intro cutscene again by doing that little KT and jumping over it. It saves 20 seconds, and for some reason the community has decided to dub it Chrono Skip because of some old boy. I don't know. So yeah, now we're just running over back into Shinshu, so if you got anything, now's a nice time.
Yeah, I can talk a bit about one of our partners for this event. We are partnered with actually the city of Malmö, which is where this event is taking place. So this year we are in a big hotel. The event is on site with the hotel, and it has been a really good change.
Oh. Is the stream still live? Okay. Apparently the projector broke or something. So yeah, the people in the audience can't see this right now, but we're talking to Mika right here and getting ourselves a monster list.
The reason we do this is because it always turns the game time to 9, which is useful for certain things.
Oh, come on. They've always spawned on the other side of the arena ever since I've been here. Sometimes those enemies spawn, the big enemy spawns on like right next to you or something, and then you can just hit him real quick, and it's slightly faster than using a slip. But yeah, right after beating one of those monsters, we have to cross them off. I hope I can do it. Yay, that worked somehow. The game the game can be very pedantic about that line, and in practice today I missed it 5 times in a row before getting it because I want to go fast, and it's just like saying nope.
As someone who played the game on the Wii version, where you have to aim with the Wiimote, anything crossing out anything or drawing the right shape first try is really impressive for me.
Nah, that's not what I want to do. So we're gonna do a little fight again. There we go. I hit the enemies again, by the way, to make them die faster. It saves a little bit of time. But yeah, doing that fight opens this mermaid spring. This is technically the first mermaid spring. But if you do it now, it just saves you a little bit of time over doing it earlier. And we're gonna go all the way back to where we were before doing Gilstorm. Go. I'm gonna swerve a little bit. The reason I'm swerving is to get full speed right here so I can make this jump. And we're gonna go over to Orca. So get your Orca Z's in chat, because we're riding him. So we mentioned before that we technically can't do full-on aerial KTs over water. Now luckily Orca doesn't count as water. So what we can do is get off here, jump straight up, and do a KT above Orca, which is really nice for getting up here quickly. So the main reason we wanted to make it night is so that we can go to this guy. This is the Stargazer. And we're going to draw him a falling star. and he makes a wish for us, and what he wishes for us is this wonderful, beautiful whirlpool galaxy. There is one problem though. It's not spinning, so let's just summon some wind on Earth, and that'll make the star spin. That's how that works, right?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe it's like the Earth spinning. The wind pushes the Earth around.
Yeah.
I never considered that before.
Oh, that's actually a good one, actually. But how would that work?
It wouldn't.
Ah, damn, almost got TAS Orca. We like to refer landing on Orca without a double jump as TAS Orca, because that's how the TAS would do it if someone would ever be as stupid to try and make it. Hi. I tried. It doesn't work.
One day. Wow.
One day when we get TAS tools for the PC version. But yeah, anyways, this is the Dragon Palace. It is a beautiful place, and we're barely going to see any of it. So, in this part of the story, the water dragon has been terrorizing the people. So we're going to go and try and see what's wrong with the water dragon. And for that, we're going to go out of bounds. And that is the fearsome water dragon. Cut off, like... Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, just tell me when to pause. Okay. Yeah, so there's some things going wrong, so I'm quickly pausing the run right here so that the tech crew can fix the issues.
That's also proof that it's a real run and not a task thing as well.
Yeah.
Well, we could see you again. That's
Yeah.
always an advantage.
Yeah, it seems like everything's working again.
Welcome back to part 2.
Welcome back to ESA Unspliced.
It's all live. Don't worry about it.
All right.
Okay, awesome. So I just got the go-ahead to go again, so I guess I have to press the red button again. No? Okay. No? Okay, don't have to press the red button. Okay, in 3, 2... Well, oh, the timer's already going. Never mind, let's just go. There we go.
The button is a lie.
No.
Nice.
So yeah, now that that's out of the way, let's go into the water dragon. Now, the water dragon is a really nice place with some monsters in it, and we're gonna try and get rid of the monsters. And first we're gonna get this little key here. Oh, I dropped into the water. Damn.
So this is the other use of the technique where you can draw lines of water. You can make a big plume and get all the way back up here.
Oh no,
Save
I
some
dropped
time.
my key. So yeah, you can just drop the key and it reappears. It's a really neat trick. And with the key we are opening this little gate. Now the game expects you to go all the way to the back of the room here and release some acid, but you can just do this. It's coded as you just have to use water spout on that little orb there. So if you use a little camera trick, you can do that like this. They actually somewhat patched that in the newer versions, where they added a trigger that you have to release the acid first before water spout works. And don't worry about that little freeze frame, that is normal on my PS3. That always happens. Sometimes it's been like 2 seconds of freezing right there. It's kind of weird. That's like another thing about this speedrun, is that everyone's PS3 is slightly different. So everyone has slightly different nuisances throughout the run. There was one Norwegian runner that had such bad lag while doing KTs that he just had so much trouble doing Gilstorm.
And this section is the blood that drops down can just get you at any point if you're unlucky.
And
We've got one so far.
And sadly, we have to jump through here, and while we're jumping, we can't actually dodge them. So we just have to get lucky here. Oh, I just failed to jump anyways. Ow. And there we go. So yeah, by removing the dragon orb, we accidentally killed the water dragon. Oops.
Whoops.
It's not supposed to happen. We just wanted to get something.
Although you did show me a couple of days ago in practice that you can jump back in again out
Yeah.
of bounds, so maybe it's not dead after all.
I mean, the model is still there right now.
Yeah.
But yeah. Now that we killed the water dragon, it's probably a good idea to tell the queen that we did a boo-boo. So,
Whoops.
we're gonna go over to her and hope we don't get scolded.
Sorry I killed your dragon.
Now, I'm gonna skip the cutscene, but we'll just say that she took it with a lot of faith. Don't worry about it. So at this point in the story, one of our good friends with a great personality gets shown to be attacked by some Dark Lord. So we're gonna go over to her temple and try and save her before she gets killed. So that's why we got this awesome theme. I love this theme.
This game has great music in general.
Mhm.
Such a good game for video game music.
And you can bork along. So I'm gonna show off something cool that we don't do in runs, but I always show off in marathon runs because it's awesome. It's another application of KTing. So we're gonna grab this horse over here. Horse, I wanna grab you. Okay, and then we're gonna switch KT and whee! We refer to that as the telekinetic grab. It has absolutely no use except making people laugh, which is perfect.
That's pretty useful though.
Yeah. And in this case, getting me off the bad Karmic Transformer. Fat Amy sucks. Don't fight me. So yeah, right here we have to go technically from the front. At least the game expects us to. So there's like a bunch of cutscene triggers there. But we're just gonna run around and jump into the final cutscene trigger right here. And here is our great friend with a great personality going through a wall for some reason. So we're just gonna follow her. And, oh hey, there is no wall. Nice. And yeah, this is a bridge. This is the first time we enter this area, so it has to show us this. And there's the body of our great friend. And she died. Spoilers. But yeah, this is the first time we actually got into this area. You're supposed to have been here a lot of times already, so yeah, we got lucky, I guess. And we're gonna go into Queen Himiko's palace, which for some reason I've always read as Queen Himiko's place. I don't know why.
I mean, it's not wrong.
Yeah. It's just a bit too informal.
Yeah.
So yeah, a long time ago we did a liquid KT. Now, this is lava. But lava is a liquid, so we can just jump over it like that as well. It's technically possible to do it in one go, but yeah,
So hard.
it's quite hard. Especially the way to.
And that is useful in new games to do a skip actually.
Oh, oops, I just want to fight. I'm sorry, I should have said so. So yeah, that was our great friend who is apparently the Dark Lord. So we're gonna go to the Dark Lord and destroy them. Yes, they're actually called the Dark Lord. Two, three. That's way early. There we go. Yeah, that's the other way around. Didn't pull Kai. I will never stop bullying you. So yeah, kind of in the story again, Queen Himiko showed us the place of the Dark Lord's abode, and we have to go over there before it disappears at the end of the night. Also, the soldiers suck at their job.
Hey, how did you get in? I infinite jumped, obviously.
You can actually get through them without brush powers
Yeah.
as well. It's pretty neat. So yeah, you're supposed to go from the front, so Waka waits for us on the other side like that. And we're gonna jump off the bridge a bit to skip a cutscene and just go up here. Bridge bump skip. And onto Scion Commoner's Quarter, which gives us another cutscene. But again, we're actually on the other side of this this area. We're doing this in reverse.
It's another place where all the townsfolk are in trouble. There's a big green mist everywhere that's making everyone ill, but we don't care. We just want to beat the game.
They'll be fine, don't worry
Yeah.
about it. They can handle themselves. So again, Gar's doing a bad job. How on earth that you get in here? Because we just ran past them. Now we're gonna go back into North Rio Coast. And there in the distance you can see the little cloudy thing. That is Oni Island, where the Dark Lord abodes. And I'm gonna walk around this fight this time. I've missed that in practice. And we're gonna jump up here. Ah, damn, I should not do that. I'm buffered in a marathon. Ah! Camera? Okay, there we are. That was weird. So I'm gonna jump around this corner, not just because it's faster, but also because there's a fight trigger there that I've left lying, and if I hit that, that's kind of annoying. I don't like hitting it. So here, out of nowhere, spawns another water dragon. This time it is the Queen of the Dragonians, which is nice. We got a little bridge all the way to Oni Island. Yes, Issen, we want to go in. Issen is such a... He's not confident in himself.
I find it funny that there's so many warnings for going into these levels that you can't get back out of until you beat them.
Yeah.
And then the very last one, they don't really, like, there's not
Yeah.
much of a warning there.
So we just went out of bounds. There is a really big labyrinth in there, kind of, with races with the best speedrunner in the world, called Toby. Don't fight me, he is actually the best speedrunner.
He's one of the ones with the world record.
Yeah. Toby is the best character in this game, and everyone who disagrees has never played this game before. And we're just jumping around basically most of that, and I'm trying to jump the moment I land. We refer to it as green hopping, as you can only see green whenever I land. This is basically to keep height as much as possible, so I don't have to do KTs at that statue over there. Because that is where I'm trying to go. For some reason, that's already loaded when you enter the area. Oh, that's bad. Nice, close enough. And that gives us the final brush power we will be getting. There we go. This time it's a tiger. Oh, damn. So, we got Thunderstorm, and it basically lets us control Thunder, which is kind of neat. And the game expects you to go forward because that's how it works. But we're just going to go inside of the dungeon again, and the entire dungeon is on one map. So what we can do is we can go out of bounds here. There we go. And we will be going into that loading zone over there. Like so. There we go. So get into that 2D section. Because for some reason, this is needed. Don't really get why this is in the game.
So now all the brush techniques are required. You'd think that, you know, you go straight, just leave and go straight to the end. But unfortunately in this dungeon, you have to actually beat it to be able to escape. You can't go back out the same way you came in. So
actually, you can leave,
Yeah.
but it's not only slower, I think it somewhat soft locks you somewhere.
So when you're in that state where this dungeon appeared, and you know the music was playing that was kind of like rushing you along, you can't actually go to a lot of areas. You can't warp, and there's loads of restrictions, so you can't actually get to the place you need to be.
No. And even still, you kind of want to defeat this dungeon because it makes getting to the final area of the game a lot easier.
Yeah.
There we go. Let's see if I can get the first one cycle I have gotten since I've been here. Yes! Nice! That is really hard for some reason, and I never get why. So yeah, we could explain how this dungeon works, but I mean, we're breaking it to pieces. So we're getting over on those stairs, and we're not supposed to be there from this side. So we have to go back a little bit. We're gonna go down the stairs. We're gonna get hit by this spider. And there's Toby! Hey Toby! The best speedrunner in the game. So Toby challenges to a race, and we're gonna win the race. And for everyone who loves Toby just as much as I do, we're not killing Toby. Toby stays alive.
The one person in the game that we actually help
Yep.
is Toby.
Everyone else gets skipped except Toby. So yeah, now we're at the end of this dungeon. We're gonna fight I think this is our first boss fight, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, we've been playing for an hour, and we're finally gonna get a boss fight. So this fight, this boss kind of thinks himself a god, so to have to summon them, we have to use Constellation. And this is Ninetails. Ninetails is a little bit annoying. What you have to do is get her to that weird attack thing, and then he splits, and you can defeat all the little things. And in total, you have to defeat, I think, 8 of those.
Yeah.
Before he reveals his true form. So I'm looking for the fat one and the old one first, because they have a little bit more health than the other ones, and therefore I need to hit them before using a slip. Now I just mash. Ninetails! There we go. Like I said, Ninetails can be annoying. But yeah, that was Ninetails. I would not like to save the game, thank you. So now that we've got basically everything we need to finish the game, we're gonna go over to Shinshu Field and get to the final part of the game.
And if you enjoyed that boss, then there'll be more coming up.
Yep.
Just for you.
I always enjoy the death sound of Ninetails. It's so satisfying. Because Ninetails is the worst character. No, not like he is a good character, but he's an evil character in the most like sinister of ways. So I like killing him. I think anyone who's done a casual playthrough can agree.
If you haven't played this game casually, this hasn't spoiled it for you. The cutscenes are amazing. The story is amazing. The gameplay is great.
Yeah. And it's actually out on PC, PS4, Xbox One nowadays, and there is a Switch version coming as well. So you have literally no excuse. It's only $12. Get it and play it. So we're gonna use lightning here to open this weird contraption. To get to the next area. There we go. So we've got a nice little long tunnel here. I guess the idea is that this tunnel like goes under the water, because we technically do play in what is called Nippon, so we are in Japan. So we're going from like mainland Japan to Hokkaido now, I think. And for some reason they call it Kamui. I'm not sure why they have these names, but whatever. And so there's a cool little fight to the left of us. But yeah, no.
Probably my favorite character.
Yeah.
A lot of people hate him because he's kind of a douche.
I love his music. His music is so good. But yeah, we're gonna fall under the map real quick. So you see that giant rock there in the distance that that guy is shooting arrows at, like right there. Underneath that rock is another guardian sapling. And we're gonna see if I can bloom it right now. Nope, that's too far away. I'm gonna try it again. No, okay, no, now I'm too low. Need to do a few KTs now.
Gale Storm again.
Except we can't see anything. Okay, this should work. There we go. So now we bloomed the tree while it's still in the rock. And now the rock has disappeared.
A scary moment coming up.
Yeah. So this moment is also often referred to the soft lock moment. If I hit the fight trigger here, I soft lock, so I have to make sure I don't. I'm gonna do one extra up. This is about the safest I can do it. There we go, we just skipped over the soft lock, so that's nice. So what that's why we call that the soft lock is because we enter into a fight with an enemy that needs Inferno to be able to beat it, and we don't have Inferno. We skipped that. So if we hit that fight, we soft lock, and the run is over, basically. I do have like a safety save ready in case that happened, but it didn't, so that's nice. So yeah, now we're in Webkir. It's a nice little town where everyone is apparently scared of us. So yeah, we're just gonna skip the town, I guess. Everyone doesn't like us. We might as well just leave. What do you say?
Yeah. I mean, at least they're not complaining to us about their problems like in the last two towns.
Yeah, that's true. Oop. So we're gonna jump over this gate here. It's got a pretty formidable wall, and I didn't make it. I thought I made that.
It does look like it's hard to get into this area, but there's actually a couple of ways you can do it.
Yeah. I love the new game way of doing it. Yeah, okay, I got over. There we go. The music change is a very big tell if you got over the gate or not. And now we are in the Esofuji area. So Esofuji is like a twin mountain thing, or twin volcanoes actually. And there's a lot of story about it and everything, but I can talk about it, but it's not really useful.
There's like a huge futuristic looking ship thing in front of us,
Yeah.
buried in the ice, and you're supposed to make it like fly, levitate up. And then a bridge spawns to it, and then you go over the bridge to enter it. But even without a bridge, even without it flying, and by the way, that's the final dungeon in the game, the final area you have to go to. Even without the bridge being there, for some reason, the loading zone is still there, so you can just go straight in.
Yep. So we just kind of skipped to the end of the game. And as you can see, you got these nice little paintings on the walls. This is also called the section of bosses you've never seen before.
Except for one.
Except for one. Because these are all bosses you've never seen before. Surprise. They're all like bosses strewn around the game, and because we just skip everything, we don't get to see them until here. And you got these nice little people telling you like backstory of the arc and of ourselves and everything, which is really neat and really interesting if you play the game. So we're gonna make sure to skip it as much as possible. So this is Blight. We need to use the Mist ability to actually defeat him quickly, but we don't have that one, so we're just going to wait for him to do this attack. That was your cue, Blight. Thank you. And then he drops his sword, and we're gonna hit the sword. There we go. And that way we can beat him quickly still, without using the Mist ability.
So he's the guy we were supposed to kill to save everyone in Seon City from the green mist. We didn't do that.
Oh. We'll be too slow. Though Mist Warp is always cool to show off.
Yeah. I like that this part of the game is a reminder of all the people you didn't save.
Yeah, which is a lot. So the next boss fight used to be my least favorite boss fight. And after the Japanese were like, hey, we got this awesome cool strat for him, it became my favorite boss fight. It's just, it's such a cool strat. I love it.
And you're normally supposed to fight this guy like 3 times throughout the whole game. We skipped 2 of those fights.
So first we're gonna let the Earth Head do his thing, and he gets all groggy. And then we can activate all the heads we want. And this allows us to do 3 heads at once. And you're only supposed to be able to do 1 head at a time. And this saves a lot of time. Ah, damn it, Poison. Poison can be a bit annoying sometimes. And just like, no, I want first. And it kind of screws up my timing here and there, because I don't know when I have to activate that guy. Okay. How was that Gilstorm game? Sometimes the game gets annoying with brush powers. I'm happy I don't have Fire Burst. That would have been even worse. But yeah, that was the first phase. It's pretty cool. The second phase is basically just this. Whack-a-mole. Or whack-a-snake, rather. Also, you might notice that the audio is really loud. For some reason, this fight has really loud audio. And I never get why. Just gonna wait here. So this boss fight is kind of the wow, fire. That fire is completely random, and I just got hacked twice. It's annoying. So this boss reminded us of the people in all the way at the start of the game we didn't save.
And the people back in time that we didn't save, technically.
Yeah.
We kind of just caused a time paradox.
Yeah, we did, didn't we?
Oh well.
Things will be
I guess
fine.
that's what gods do.
Yeah. Time. And on to the next box. So this is just kind of like a boss rush thing. And this time we get a nice little spider drawing, so you can kind of guess what the next boss is going to look like. It's gonna look like an ant.
This is the saddest boss because it reminds us of the dog that we didn't save.
Yeah. So I have Vine all the way over there, and if I use my brush at the right moments, you get these little hooks right at the right moment. And that allows us to quickly get 3 vines on her, and then we use 2 slips, and she's dead. You're supposed to let her like completely open the flower, and you got these eyes that you have to kill to damage her, but we can just use slips instead at the right moment. Nice. You actually can't, you might think, why don't you just make sure you spawn right on top of that little portal thing? If you do that, the portal doesn't work. You have to actually move into the portal. You don't have to, you don't need to be in the portal. So that's a little bit of annoying. Sometimes I'm just like 1 pixel inside of the portal and I still have to get out, and it's like, oh my god, that's so annoying. So this is the weirdest centaur you've ever seen. Also known as Crimson Helm. So for this fight, we first use a slip to get rid of his armor. And then use Gale Storm to get rid of his fire, and then we can just nuke him down with a nice sword hit. And this boss reminds us of the people in the shitty village that we didn't save. If you got like a small donation, you can fit 1 in right here.
I've got $5 from Lindbergio, who says, "Hi ESA, I just want to wish all the runners good luck. I'm enjoying this excellent event from my office. Also, $5 towards the Ashanka hat for GTA 4. Thanks very much."
So this is the only boss in the boss rush where we actually save the people. Ain't that amazing? We're gonna see a boss we've seen before.
This is the bit where we've accepted all the bad things we've done, and now we're repenting, and that finally lets us get to the final boss. You lol.
So yeah, again, have to do that to get him to split. I'm gonna jump around for a bit. 3, 2, 1. And it's basically the same boss fight. No like, whoa, where is it? Old one, there you are. I should have just used 2 slips there. So on the other fight, I tried nuking Ninetails down with like the beats shooting like this. But in this fight, she jumps around a lot sooner than in other fights, so we use slips to make it a little bit more consistent.
In the original fight, it plays a cutscene when you get to the last,
Yeah,
when you kill 8 of them, but on this one it doesn't.
and that really helps. So now that we've defeated all of the bosses, the entire like area becomes nice and blue. Looks really pretty. And a portal appears. Ooh. And we're gonna see what is inside of that portal. So, yeah, the portal gets us to the final boss of the game, and this is the saddest moment in speedrun. It always gets to me, because we completely cheese this boss to no end. If you're ever going to play this game, please, for the love of God, don't use slips.
Yeah.
If you use slips on this fight, you will not have a fun time.
I think in general, don't use slips throughout the game if it's your
Yeah.
first time playing, because the combat with the brush techniques and the weapons you have are really, really rewarding.
Yeah. But this is basically an auto-scroller boss in this iteration of the route. Well, it's always been an auto-scroller boss. Because we deal so much damage that we're basically perpetually in... Okay, I need to use another slip that didn't deal enough damage. There we go. We're basically killing him so fast that he has to go through all the animations of giving us brush powers back, that we have to wait for him to do that. So like you see, he just has a sliver of health left, and we still have to get all our brush powers back. Because the idea of the boss fight is that at the start of the boss fight you lose all of your brush powers, and you have to get them back by beating him up. But yeah, for instance now, this phase has no more health left. Just to show you how stupid the speedrun does it. So we literally just have to wait and go through the motions. Use a little dot there. With this right equipment you can use dots to deal damage. And that's all we need to get to the next phase. And now I'm doing what I like to call rigging the slots. We use 5 slips and bring him down almost to the end of his health. And we're gonna play slots. Hey, I won! Awesome. Let's see if we can win again. Hey, we did it again. Awesome. How do I do this?
Amazing.
I have the best luck ever.
Only in a marathon.
Mm-hmm. Now the third one can be a little tricky, so I hope I can win that one as well. Oh, wow. That's so good. Perfect. So yeah, like I said, I was rigging the slots, so it's all damage based if you get your brush powers back. But yeah, we're done with this phase now. And we're gonna use another slip to get to the next one.
Another thing worth mentioning is, we didn't get all these brush techniques throughout the game.
But we can actually still use them all right now. Every one that we retrieve, we can just use. So I'm just front-loading slips here to get this phase down to a lower health. I kind of prefer that over the older strats where we just like pepper them around. And we just use more slips. And I'm not even touching the left analog stick anymore. I don't need it. that one. And now we need to just use one more slip, and we're done with this phase. This cutscene always loads too long. It's always a bit scary. And then this is the final phase. Get ready on time. Get ready on the button, and now. There we go. So I skipped through the final cutscene and the credits because we want to see this one. So yeah, 131 is basically because of the pause in the middle of the run. The game timer just keeps going and going and going until you basically get to this end. So I guess the RTA time is more correct, but oh well. I hope you liked the Okami. I think it's a really cool game, and a big shout outs to the Okami community, by the way, because they're all awesome people and everyone is extremely helpful, and we really try to help out newer runners get used to our amazing speed game. So
yeah, it's such a friendly bunch of people.
Yeah.
Really, if you're thinking of picking up this game, you definitely should. You'll be more than welcome.
Definitely. So yeah, we are done here, so we're gonna kick it over to the host, I guess.
Thank you.
Thank you.